Hello, friends. Welcome to episode 1 of Crits and Knits. This is happening. Um, I hope that we've got some folks in chat. If you're there and hear things, please let me know if it sounds okay, if anything's too loud or too quiet. This is new for me, being the one to run the actual streams, so I'm going to do my best. But let's
And
go
your
ahead.
best is excellent.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. We're going to go ahead and get started. And I guess I'll start by introducing myself. I am Danny, and I am your DM tonight. We are going to start by talking about our knitting, and after that, we're going to transition over to playing some roleplay. But we'll keep it simple, and let's just go ahead and introduce ourselves. And we're going to go around. We'll start with Ernest tonight. Surprise!
Hi. Surprise, surprise. Hi, I'm Ernest. I am a beginner knitter, and I've decided to cast on for the start of my project tonight. I'll be working on a Kino Knits pattern, their gloves, which I have forgotten the name of, actually.
That's okay.
But here's my start. Yay.
Yay!
Yay!
And would you need my character too?
No, we'll worry about that when we
Okay.
switch over to who we're playing when we start playing.
Cool.
Next up, let's go to DB.
Oh, you went the wrong direction. I was supposed to be last. Come on.
Surprise!
Yes, I am DB. I have only been knitting for like a year and a month, something like that. I will also be doing Kino Knits pattern of the Dragon's Fortune, which is a shawl. I have cast it on like 3 times and I just keep messing up. So we're gonna figure this out together.
All right. Next up is E.
There, I am E. My pronouns are they, them, please, and thank you. I've been knitting for like 15 years at this point, which feels really weird to say. I asked my mom, can you get me knitting lessons when I was in the 5th grade? So that's what my life has been like. I will be doing Kinos up next, socks.
Oh, those are cute.
Ooh.
I like them.
I've got random scraps as prescribed by the pattern. I've got some leftovers from my very first ever sock project that turned out badly. They don't fit my legs. I've got a wool blend, black and white, that I have probably from a grab bag at a garage sale, honestly. And then I've got some Deborah Norville stuff that I found, like 6 whole brand new skeins at a Goodwill. And it was rainbow, so I had to have it.
I mean, obviously.
Of course.
I have not yet cast it on because it is dinner time where I live, so I'm going to eat some pizza first. Because what's D&D without pizza?
Exactly.
That's fair, yeah.
I mean, you also have to have Mountain Dew then, and Cheetos.
Yeah. If I have Mountain Dew this late in the day, I will not sleep.
That is completely fair.
Yeah.
I'm not having a whole coffee.
Oh dear. Tiana.
Hi, I'm Tiana. I am a bad knitter.
You're a new knitter. There's a difference.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm not using any pattern today because my life has been absolute nuts lately. So I am using a yarn that I grabbed from a craft kit at on a Barnes and Noble crafting magazine that also came with these adorable little needles. So I have cast on. I've done 3 or 4 rows maybe. I'm just messing around trying to remember how to do this, quite honestly. And once I do that and have the time to like sit and look at some videos about how to do various techniques, I will pick a pattern and actually try this for real. Okay. But today I'm just messing about.
All right. Well, I am also knitting my pattern today. I'm knitting the Cape Town Protea pattern from Kino Knits, and it is going to be a shawl. I cast on last night because I know myself and I know that I can't count and D&D at the same time, so I needed to get past the part where I counted. So that's important to me. You all may discover that as well. Sometimes it's fun when we're calling out like initiative numbers and you're trying to count your stitches, and there's sometimes extra swearing because of that. And we are not going to strive to be language friendly. If we swear, we swear. Sorry,
Sorry, Danny's mom.
I think she's actually watching tonight, so it's fine. She won't mind.
I mean, she watches That's Pretty Crafty, and I swear like a sailor, so.
That is completely fair.
There is something about crafting that can bring that out in you. The yarn that I'm using is actually some hand spun that I did, and I have forgotten the label upstairs, and I can't remember who made the fiber. Well, that's sad. But I spun the yarn myself, so we're going to see how this works. The pattern that I chose is supposed to be very adaptable. It can use any amount of yarn, so that was part of why I chose it. I looked at it. The pattern itself is very quick and easy to memorize, which is nice. So I don't have to keep looking at it while we're playing until there's a section with a chart, and I'll probably do that between sessions. And yeah, I should be able to use up all of this yarn, which is nice because it's fancy and I like it. But speaking of what we're knitting, we do have a featured designer. So for this entire first arc, the lovely Mary of Kino Knits has agreed to be our featured designer. I'm very excited to have her playing along with us. I met Mary actually at a knitting retreat, and that's how I know her. I have been test knitting for Kino Knits for a couple of years now, so it was actually a challenge for me to find a pattern of hers that I haven't knit yet, and that's okay. But she has graciously offered us a coupon code. So if you are watching tonight, at the bottom of the screen, if you use the code Crits and Knits, all one word, on either Ravelry or on her website, which is kinoknits.com, you get 25% off any one of her patterns, which is really great. So if you are looking for something to knit, I highly recommend like 98% of her patterns, and the other 2% I just haven't got to yet, so I'm not aware of them. Okay. So we do have a combination of newer and older knitters in our group. Older? More experienced. Let's go with more experienced.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
like that better. So E mentioned that they got into knitting in 5th grade, and your mom taught you. Or no, your mom bought you the needles.
Lessons at the
Lessons.
local
Okay.
yarn shop.
Oh,
Okay. Let's just talk about how we got started knitting. I know how DB got started.
We all watched DB get started.
yeah.
We did, yeah.
It is all Danny's fault.
Yes.
Hey.
But also, can we talk about the hat that we made that we really fucked up on?
You know, it feels like the sort of hat that one of your characters might wear. We might bring it out later to show off. I haven't.
One of my characters?
One of the characters in tonight's game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I still need to make a pom-pom for it. I haven't done that yet. I have everything to make the pom-pom. But Danny and I realized as we were finishing up the Jane hat from Firefly,
Yeah.
that math was done wrong.
Oh,
Sometimes
no.
math
The
is hard.
whole thing just swallows my head, and I have a pretty big head.
Yeah.
And confirm, made a hat for you.
I did the math. I
Still
just
have
did the
that
math
one
wrong.
too.
And it fits better, doesn't it?
Yes.
And by better, I mean at all.
I mean, the other one fits. It just fits loosely.
So I did the math
Okay.
wrong for both of our hats.
I know, we have matching giant head hats.
I could put it on over a hood and still have lots of extra space.
Yes.
I said that's
Wow.
so
Same.
wrong. I have no
Same.
idea what I did.
It's okay.
It's
It was
fine.
just very funny whenever I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. But no, yeah, Danny and I decided to do a Firefly episode of That's Pretty Crafty, and Danny sent me the hat and the needles. RP those needles, my cat got a hold of them.
Oh no.
Oh, you knew that. I told you.
I think I did. Yeah.
Yeah, she nom nommed on them and
Nom
broke
nom
them.
nom nom nom.
And then after that, I was like, I want to make dice bags. And Danny was like, okay, here's how you do it. And then I try not to bug Danny when I'm learning new stitches, so I look it up online. So, especially this pattern, there was purl two together through the back loop. I went, how the
Oh.
do you do that? And then I went,
Yeah.
oh, that stitch is going to be the devil. Oh, I hate it. But here we
Yeah.
go. I'm going to try and get this shawl done.
Yeah. But you know,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's fine. There are no knitting police. We will frequently remind ourselves of that.
That's news to me.
Oh man,
Who were those people that arrested me then?
they've been knitting for 15 years and they didn't know about this. Oh dear, we're all in trouble.
Oh well, now you know. So we're gonna be
Okay.
okay.
Tell them to show you their badge next time.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
you do need to insist
Yeah.
on that.
Come back with a warrant.
So which one of you wants to share your knitting story next?
I guess I'll go since mine is pretty
Awesome.
nonsense.
Yeah, yours is great.
So I have not been knitting currently, but I started knitting I tried to start knitting about 10-ish years ago, and that really was only a ploy to get a recipe from an Italian woman who was in the knitting circle at my job. The older women's like, oh, you remind me of my grandsons. I remind somebody of somebody's giant grandson all the time. But she talked about this sauce recipe, this spaghetti sauce recipe. I was like, oh man, I'd love to have that. But you don't just give those out to anybody. So I had to really get close, get in this knitting circle, share gossip while knitting poorly, and eventually I got the recipe. She shared it with me. It's all there's no exact measurements. It's all half the pan this, half the top of the pan that, this number can, that kind of deal. So and I've been using the recipe ever since. But I definitely after I left that job, I put down knitting. I didn't really think about it again, and then this opportunity popped up.
Well, we're very excited that you're picking up your needles again. So, Tiana.
Mine's weird,
Okay.
honestly. So I grew up in Fairbanks, Alaska, as people who follow the show, or not this show, obviously, people who have seen me across the interwebs generally know I spent the first 30 odd years of my life in Fairbanks, Alaska. And when I was a teenager, I belonged to a church. And I don't remember why, but I started taking knitting lessons from someone at the church. And I'd go to her house every couple of weeks, and she would try to teach me. And all that I learned was how to cast on and the basic knitting stitch.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I ever actually learned.
Well,
And I
those are the
did
first
this-
important ones.
And I did this for a couple months. And then I put it down, and I don't remember why I picked up needles and yarn again. I think I was in Michael's and was just like randomly, I should do that again. So I got like the big chunky blue yarn that I used to make the scarf that I've shown you, Danny.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I started that when I still lived in Fairbanks.
Okay.
So well over 6 years ago at this point, minimum. I think it must have been almost a decade ago that I started that scarf. And I worked on it little bits and pieces, and then when the beginning of January last year rolled around and I was very stressed, I pulled that out and was knitting like crazy while sitting and watching the news, because not knowing was worse than knowing, but I needed something to do with my hands. And then I finished that scarf, which is the only knitting project I have ever, well, it's not finished, but I finished the knitting part. So yeah, I'm more than happy to show off other people's wonderful work. Like Danny sent me this beautiful shawl that I
Aw.
wear that I love.
I was so pleased with that one. That's one that I designed.
Yeah, you want to tell people about it?
It is called, oh my goodness, I've forgotten what it's called. What did I call it?
Cobalt Soul something?
Um, you know what? I can't remember. The it is based on Critical Role because that is sort of the theme that I'm going with my knitting designs. Um, Expositor, that's what it's called. It's called Expositor. And it was a lot of fun to design. I worked with Arkansas Yarn Company. They custom dyed those yarn colors for me and actually sold it as a kit for a year or so. And yeah, I like it. It's so big. It's one of the biggest yarn or shawls I've knit. So.
I think they're still selling it as a kit.
They might be. I don't know if they still have any actually in stock or if it's all sold out.
Oh, okay. I just remember being on there a little while ago and seeing it.
Yeah.
It didn't say sold out, but maybe I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. Well, I started knitting. I was about 12, and back in the day, we would spend a couple of weeks at a time in the summer with my dad's parents, and my grandma was a knitter, and God, I remember spending so much time watching her knit. She was knitting all the time. She knit as much as I knit now. Just anytime she was sitting, she was knitting on something. And I was probably about 12 when I finally asked to learn. And same sort of thing. I did a scarf. That was my first project. And it was out of white Red Heart Super Saver yarn. And I started on kind of small needles, probably like a US 7 or so size. And it was taking forever. And I actually got my mom to take me to a craft store, and I bought bigger needles. And I changed partway through and started knitting on the bigger needles so it would go faster because I got bored. And then I guess that must be where my designing started because I got close to the end and went back to the small ones so I could make both ends match. So I've been sort of winging it since I started knitting. But it took me years to finish that scarf too, and ended up giving it to my grandma as a gift.
Oh, I bet she treasured that.
She did. I loved that she liked it so much. Man, she loved seeing some of the stuff that I came up with in my my later knitting years as I started getting more adventurous and following all these crazy patterns and designing some stuff. But she is the one that taught me it is just knitting. It is nothing to be precious about. My grandma would knit a sweater, an entire sweater, and get to like the last inch on the second arm and decide that, nope, there was a problem on the first arm back here, and just tear the whole thing out. Whole sweater, just rip it out and start again. So that's where I learned not to be precious with my knitting. If it's not working, pull it out. It's just yarn. No one's coming to yell at you. No one's going to arrest you. There are no knitting police. Just pull it out, start again, you'll be fine. So that's my knitting origin. Someone in chat talking about Red Heart. I think we all have experiences with that lovely Red Heart Super Saver. That sort of plasticky feel that it has. Virtually indestructible, but hey, it works.
You were saying about small needles, and I had to look on my needle to see. Mine are 4 millimeters.
Okay.
I don't know if that's I don't know if that's big or small in the knitting world. It feels small.
A 4 is a US size 6. So
Okay.
it's sort of a mid-range. It's used for a lot of stuff. I use that for a lot of shawls with fingering weight yarn.
Mm.
The ones I'm using today are a 5, a 3.75 millimeter. When I knit socks, I use a US 1 or 2.25 millimeter because
Oh, goodness.
you go tiny for socks. And I
Not these socks,
actually,
these are on a 5.
oh, nice. Oh, because they're
Chunky
multiple
boys.
strands held together too.
Yes.
So
Big
Yeah.
chunkies.
chunky socks. They're going to be cozy on your toes.
Yes.
Mm.
I have a
Just
couple
as
of pairs
winter
of
is
zeros.
ending. Oh my.
Well, the nice thing about wool socks is that they're kind of nice all year long. Like,
That's true.
they're not bad in the summer. You would think they would be, but they're kind of cooling. They do that whole moisture wicking thing. So
Waster. Sorry, I'm in a weird mood tonight.
that's okay. We're gonna get weird tonight, and that's fine.
What I signed up for.
So we're gonna take just a couple minutes here, real quick, to switch ourselves over from talking about knitting to getting ready to play our game. So you all will just hold tight for a moment and enjoy our lovely theme music. We will be back with you shortly. And welcome back. So we are going to dive right in to life in the town of Pennycross. Players, if you would please roll for initiative.
Oh,
Nothing like starting immediately.
My initiative is really high. Wait,
Oh, hey.
what is my initiative?
I don't think.
Old. My initiative is old.
Fuck me.
18 for Owen.
Natural 20, 24.
That's a good omen right there.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know.
All right, 16.
15.
16 and 15. Okay. Okay. So it is a quiet afternoon. It's probably a little bit after lunch, and the Golden Frog has just opened for business. Behind the bar stands a half-orc. He's about 50 years old. He's got dark hair, a couple of big scars on his hands. No one has actually asked him where they came from. They're a little bit afraid to. His name is Astrin Badri, and you're all rather familiar with him. But even more familiar with him is the very aged elven lady who kicks in the door, wanders up to the bar, smacks it twice, and says, "I want my tea with whiskey," and proceeds to walk over to her chair in the corner. She has the place of honor. She sits in a rocker that's a little bit oversized, very padded and comfy. This is Miss Agnatha Harper. She is the founder of the Knitting Guild here in Pennycross, and she is the owner of the Golden Frog Tavern, technically. She doesn't really run it anymore. At 783 years old, she is ancient even for an elf. There has been talk that perhaps there is some sort of magic keeping her alive. She claims it's just her passion for yarn. So, with that natural 20,
Lord.
you walk in. Tell us what we see.
You also see an older elf, short hair, glasses, not wearing anything really special, has her yarn bag with her, and she takes her seat in the, I guess, knitting circle.
Mm-hmm.
And she is sitting a little bit farther away from where other people would be sitting.
Okay. And what is her name?
This is Nelitha.
So as you come in, Miss Agnatha clears her throat. Nelitha,
Yes.
you drinking tonight?
Oh, maybe a little bit later. It's still kind of early for me. If
You're
I try
just
to
no
keep
fun.
up with you, I'll be dead before the evening.
Nah, keeps you young. A little bit of
Mm.
whiskey, put some hair on your chest.
Oh, at my age, I don't think I need that.
Wait till you hit my age, kid. Well,
Fair.
you getting comfy? Got good yarn tonight?
I do. Bought some just down the street. New vendor.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
Yes.
Be careful, you don't get Dave down at the Threaded Needle too upset with you.
Ugh. Dave likes me. Listen. Dave and I are on good terms. He knows that I will always come back to his yarn shop.
I don't know. Some of those human vendors, they're just a little, uh, little precious about their customers. So you just be careful. Don't piss them off.
You know, if Dave got some of the colors that vendor had, I would go to him more.
Mel's after my own heart. Colors important. Gotta
Yes.
spice up your life.
Yes.
All right. Well. All right. Astrid, where's my whiskey? You hear a little bit of grumbling from behind the bar, and the half-orc is brewing the tea that is taking the most part of his time at the moment. Owen, you're the next to show up to the Knitting Guild.
Alrighty. So Owen's kind of an older guy. He's 60, so he's not like ancient, but not in the prime of his youth anymore. He's tall. He's 6 feet. He's got a beard and kind of short-ish gray hair. There's like a little bit of color in it still, but not much. He kind of slinks in, kind of trying not to be noticed too much, and slips over to the bar and says, usual ale.
Astrid sort of gives a little grunt and nod, pours him an ale, and sets it down in front of him on the counter.
Owen gives him the old thanks, quiet, gesture, and goes and finds his usual seat, just kind of off to the side, and pulls out a kind of lumpy looking hat.
Excellent,
and
excellent.
gets to work.
Still working on that hat, I see. Good job, good job.
Yeah, it's getting the better of me there.
You'll get
in
there.
Places. It's the baubles. You convinced me on the baubles, and I don't think they were that good after all.
I think you're gonna love the end result. It'll be fine.
If you say so.
And she reaches down beside her and pulls up this knitting bag that is just exploding with yarn and starts digging through to try and decide what today's pattern is going to be. In the meantime, a pair of half-elves walk in, and you've both been in town long enough to recognize fellow members of your knitting guild. They are Harnor and Sarlin, and they come in hand and take their seats together on a sort of long bench in the knitting circle. Sarlin pulls out his knitting and starts getting straight to work on this very intricate colorwork scarf. It's got lots of little bits of color, and you can see it's almost like a scene playing out across it. His husband pulls out, well, You think it might be a scarf. You're really not sure. Uh, it is quite obvious, though, that while Sarlin is here for the knitting, Harner is just here for his husband. Erasmus, you arrive.
Erasmus walks in. He has brand new needles and a brand new knitting bag, like somebody has sold him on a bunch of stuff. Clearly, the other knitting needles that he had the other day were not the right knitting needles. So he walks in, and he sits down with his burgundy yarn, and there's a few other pieces of yarn that are kind of like flopping out of his bag that he definitely was talked into buying. He has a hat on, and on the top of his hat is a very messy palm that is really just a knot of yarn that he probably was unable to untangle. He has dark skin. He sits down. He just milk for me.
Raz, how's it going?
It's good, Owen. It's good. It's good. I think these might be the needles. Maybe. I hope so. I really
Fifth
hope
time's the
so.
charm. Fifth time's the charm.
Yeah, they actually have 5 on them, so maybe.
That bodes well.
Yeah. Hoping. Yeah, just milk up on the bar. He takes his milk.
Excellent. Miss Agnatha looks over to you, and you do wear that hat real well, son. Real well.
Well, it's about the pride. It's about I messed up, but I'm owning it.
There you go. There you go. Own that. Be proud of what you did.
That and I don't think I'm ever going to untangle this thing. So it's just going to sit up there.
It'll work. It'll be fine. The people who aren't knitters, they're not going to tell. And besides, they're not important anyway.
Right. Yep.
Isolde.
So Isolde walks in. She's not a terribly tall human woman. She's about 5'7". She was a little bit taller in her youth, but stands straight for all of that, leaning a little bit on a walking stick that she uses with a kind of easy grace. Comes walking in, looking around. She's still not hugely familiar with the area or the people, so she takes a moment to assess the room, assess the people in it before nodding a little to herself and going over to the bar. A glass of wine, please.
And Astrid nods to you and quickly pours you a glass, slides it across, smiles.
Thank you very much. And she takes it, cheers him, sips, before making her way over to what she assumes is the knitting circle. She was told about it and is still very new to all of this.
Miss Harper looks up. Ah, you must be our newest member. So glad you joined us. Now here's the important question. Did you join for the knitting or for the wine?
The wine, something to do, and companionship.
All right. Well, you're going to knit anyway, so.
I imagine I will learn. I'm Isolde Argry.
Isolde, it's lovely to meet you, my friend. You are, I think you're going to get along pretty well. We've got some other human folk in the group, so you don't have to feel too young.
Well, if age is how you feel, then I think I'm in your range, my friend.
Oh, you're cute. You're cute. Oh, humans.
Mm. And she just smiles a little bit, a little sadly, and she wears a silver ring on her left ring finger that flashes a little bit in the light as she sits down and pulls out a brand new set of needles, a brand new skein of yarn, dark blue, and sort of looks at it for a moment. All right, and starts casting on, not with any sort of grace at all, but figuring it out as she goes.
Okay. Um, one of the half elves leans over to you and says, you know, it's okay if you don't knit a whole lot. She won't yell at you. You just have to try.
Well, there's a little else to keep my mind occupied these days, so learning a new skill is something I imagine will be fairly useful.
Well, I hope so for your sake. I don't particularly enjoy it, but where else are you going to get the Kalian wine around here, you know?
Mm. Oh, entirely too true. I didn't catch your name. I'm Assault.
Oh, I'm Harner. Harner
Harner.
Yezrick.
Harner, pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You, if you're not much into the knitting, make sure you come sit by me. We'll chat while they do the yarn stuff. It'll be fine.
I've visited the knitting shop down the way and was frankly a little overwhelmed by the sheer amount of everything.
Yeah, Dave does have a wide selection. Not a lot of color though. He's like blue and gray, and that's sort of as far as he gets.
And Assault looks down at her outfit, which is in fact shades of dark gray and light blue. Well, we get on well enough.
And speaking of what Isolde is wearing, let's take a quick.
Oh,
There we go. We should have audio back now. That work?
can you hear us?
Damn it, Clancy.
It's
Okay, we should be back now.
back.
Awesome. Yay. Thanks,
Well,
guys.
wonder where Clancy is today.
Yeah, Clancy's not coming by today. He was feeling a little under the weather. Something about I don't know. I think he tangled himself up in his yarn, and it's okay. We won't miss him much.
Yeah, that
Oh,
boy ain't right.
damn.
That boy is a problem. He's nothing but problems. But you know, what can you do, right? And as you're all sitting there, calmly, quietly, knitting on your projects, sipping your drinks a little, it's it's kind of a nice peaceful evening, afternoon. And not too long after that, the door flies open and you see a fire genasi storm over to the bar, slam her hand down, and just sort of glower at Astrin. He glowers back very powerfully and then gives her a shot. She tosses it back, waits for a moment. He passes her an ale, and she stomps over to the knitting circle and flops into a chair. And Yatha looks at her. Nice of you to join us, Tamilia. You got any of your yarn left? And she pulls out what used to be a project, but is now mostly charred bits of strand on a needle. I got frustrated. I'm gonna start again.
Oh my god, is this character based off me? Shit! I'm feeling called out.
Oh, you've never burned your yarn, though, have you?
She's not a fire genasi.
It's come close. If I had magic.
If she were a fire genasi, you could just like run it over her hair. Of course, she would have set it on fire by now.
All you need is a stove.
So this is Tamilia. Those of you who've been around for a while are quite familiar with her. She has a temper and not a lot of success with her knitting, probably because of that temper. But it's fine. It's fine. So you all are just sort of having a very relaxing afternoon when one of Anyatha's kin comes in. No one's really entirely sure how all the Harpers are related, other than they're all related to Anyatha. She is the one who helped found this town. It's been around for over 200 years. And most of, we'll call them the staff, are her family. This one comes in. It's an older elf, female, and she leans over to Anyatha and whispers something. Anyatha sighs heavily, gets up out of her comfy chair, and goes to the door. Huh. Well, you're not wrong. She heads back to her comfy chair and sits down and puts down her knitting and looks at all of you, sort of straightens up. It would seem that there is smoke coming from our mountain.
Is that normal?
Nope. Haven't seen smoke come from that mountain in the 200 plus years I've been living here.
Is somebody making a barbecue?
Well, I didn't smell any barbecue. You're welcome to go take a look yourselves. Take a sniff. See if you can't figure it out.
Well, all right. Hold on.
That's what I sound like when I stand up.
Bones ain't got me yet. And Erasmus will take a look outside. Shove his knitting needles into his bag and just look, like old people looking on the looking out at the trouble on their porch. Mm-hmm. That's smoke.
Isolt will set her knitting aside and stand up, leaning heavily on her cane as she gets up, walks over, standing just a little bit behind Erasmus, looking out. Interesting. Any notion what might be causing the mountain to smoke?
No wood chips, no barbecue.
It's not real barbecue without the wood chips. You are correct. I mean, with some of the experiences that Isolt has had, she's looking to the sky to see if there's dragons.
Go ahead and roll a perception.
Hey. Perception. That's a 15.
You see something in the distance. You can't make out what it is, but there is some sort of motion, some sort of speck. Could be a dragon, could be a bird, could be a fly. Kind of hard to tell. Your eyesight's starting to fail a little bit, but you know that there's something out there flying. So you have spotted something.
Okay. I'll note it and keep an eye on it, see what direction it is traversing.
Okay. As you watch, it seems to circle the area where the smoke is coming from.
All right, so noting that, I will point it out to Erasmus. I don't know what that's about, but anything flying that's sitting over smoke seems a bit suspicious to me.
Hold on. Where'd I put it? He reaches under his hat, pulls out a telescope. Oh, I gotta clean it. Hold on. Hair grease.
Oh, well.
Is there anything out there? Is it a
It
really big fly?
Go ahead
Mothman.
and roll me an investigation with advantage because you're using a telescope.
Sure. Uh, 18.
You are pretty sure that it is not a fly.
Nope, no fly.
Pretty sure it's not just a little bird. You think it's probably either a rock or a dragon.
You know, I can't quite make it out, but I mean, it's technically not a bird. Could be a big bird though, like a really big one, like a. I wonder what a rock leg tastes like. Anyway, could be a dragon.
During this, Owen kind of takes more interest in what's going on. A rock.
I've been meaning to get this thing realigned. Just it means going down the mountain to get anything done. Yeah, rock, dragon, about the general shape. Definitely not a fly or a bird.
Something big flying over that smoking mountain.
I retired so I wouldn't have to deal with dragons and rocks.
I mean, I'm sure that there are some plucky young people who will definitely.
Around here?
No, probably not. Well, I guess I better go get my hidden stick.
Oh.
And Rasmus very casually walks down to the back of his house to a shed, pulls out a very worn backpack. Oh, you ready? You ready, Owen? We're just gonna go hit it a couple times, just like come back.
I don't really think that's necessary.
Oh no! It's just you can't just let things fly around like that. Then they think they own things.
I mean, but it's flying around all the way over there.
But yeah,
And
but see,
we're all the way over here.
if it gets ideas about owning things and being places, then it might start flying around here, and then it becomes
But then
our
it is
problem
our
here.
problem. Yeah, no. Then it
But, you know,
becomes our problem.
you gotta nip these things in the bud before they become big problems.
We, do,
Besides,
we don't even know what it is.
I told you it's a rock or a dragon.
A rock
Yeah,
or
rock
a dragon.
or
Those are
dragon,
two very different things
and both of them can
that
be
cause
solved.
very different kinds of problems.
You know, I mean, smoke
That's a
on the
key
mountain.
word, is
That's
problems.
problems. See, Owen knows
Hmm.
problems.
I also retired so I wouldn't have to fight dragons or rocks or other things.
You know, I mean, look, I understand that you retired, but me,
Did you not
I
retire?
I did retire, but I could sit in there and take a few human jokes from Miss Harper, or I can go out and go get my hit stick and just go get things done.
Well, it was nice knowing you.
Oh, this is just like I bet this is just gonna be routine, just like any other time.
When was
It'll be fun.
oh okay, backing up a little bit. When was the last time you fought a rock or a dragon?
Ooh, let's see here. Last time I fought around had to be back in the Necromancer's War.
Okay. That was like 50 years ago.
No,
Aren't your
not not
knees giving out
not
to you?
not the big Necromancer's War 50 years ago. The little no, his apprentice. See, his apprentice took over his shop, and he started like a little mini war like 30 years ago.
Necromancer's War Part 2,
Oh,
Necromantic Boogaloo.
Yeah, that's what Owen calls it all the time.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, see, his apprentice took up shop in his old tower because the king said, "Hey, why don't we just keep the tower intact? What if it be useful?" And I said, "Knock that damn thing down."
I mean,
Nobody
that
listen.
that would have been better.
And yeah, so yeah, he took up shop and yeah, started like a whole mini thing. So yeah, he had like he had a dragon working with him, and that went fine.
Like a big dragon or like an undead dragon. Like what kind of dragon were you
It
fighting?
was a I'd say it was like an ebon dragon. Like it was dark. It might have been black. Yeah, what I know was that
So you're not even sure if it was a dragon.
no, I'm sure it was a dragon, fire, or acid.
Oh, good.
Anyway, what matters is that me and Lucky here, as he pulls out his hitting stick with it, which is a sword. Me and Lucky here gonna go take care of it. But I mean, we could sure use the company.
Well, I'm
Unless
not
you-
letting you go alone. Even
Well-
with Lucky.
It has been some time since my goddess called me to protect and defend, but it seems it's about that time again.
Ooh, it's a party. I love it.
I find that these sorts of things go better when you have a group, even if they're all a bit young. No offense.
I mean, I'm as young as I feel when I take my medicine.
So you're 130.
I mean, I'm no spring elf, but not an elf at all. But see you there.
Well, if anything, it'll be entertaining to watch.
Well, and in the twilight years, entertainment is valuable, is it not?
You're not wrong. All right, let's go deal with a rock or a dragon.
Yeah.
Well, you kids, you just hold on a second. And Yappa's right up there with you. Now, I don't mean to be insulting, but none of you are young folk anymore.
Oh,
We gotta take care of you a little bit. So before you just go running off after a rock or a dragon, let's just come and sit for a moment. Just come sit inside for just a minute.
All right, fine. Yeah, I guess I'll get another milk before I get on the road.
Exactly. A drink for the road. That'll help with the
At this
bravery.
point, I do get a whiskey. Like, I'm not going into this sober.
Yeah, Erasmus is definitely the old man who thinks he doesn't have problems and definitely does have problems.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yep. So you're all getting comfortable, waiting for Benyatha to do whatever it is that she's going to do. And she reaches under her shirt and pulls out this this stone. And you're all adventurers. Um, Most of the folks in the Knitting Guild aren't. They're just normal folks who retired. But you folks, being adventurers, the red of this stone is not a natural stone. It is very much the same shade of red as every healing potion you've ever tossed back. It looks really familiar, oddly red. And you see her grab onto it and close her eyes for a second, and she murmurs a word. And beside you, a half elf appears, just apparates out of nowhere. And she looks around and says, "You called, grandmother?" "Yes, Chayla, Chayla, my dear. I'm gonna need your assistance. We have, well, did you see the smoke coming from the mountain?" "Yes, grandmother." "Good, good. So, we've got a problem. Our fine friends here have pointed out that there is, well, something up there. It could be a rock, could be a dragon. I still think it could be a fly, but whatever. They got better eyes than me. And they're determined to go and take care of things. And well, we're going to have to take care of them, my friend. So, have you got some of those necklaces still available?" And she sort of gives a heavy sigh. "Give me a moment." And she walks out the door. She's gone for about 5 minutes and then walks back in. "All right. Um, I need each of you to just come stand with me for a moment." And she has these charms. And she looks to Isolde first. Says, "Just come here. I need you to put your hand out." And once you do, she places a stone that has just a ring on it, like the sort of ring that you put on a necklace, and then a second stone that has a chain on it. Puts them both in your hand, covers them with her hand, murmurs a couple of words. You feel everything sort of heat up. She takes her hand away, takes away the stone that's just got the connector on it, and leaves you with the other stone in your hand. Put this on, and you see her clip the other stone onto her necklace. And there are 2 or 3 other stones already on there. She repeats this process with each of you. So, hand out 2 stones, covers it with hers, says a few words, leaves you with the stone on the chain.
What is this?
Yeah, Isolde does not put hers on until
Yeah.
that question gets
Yeah.
answered.
This is a way to ensure your safety. It is a way of summoning me. It works once a day, so don't use it unless you need to. But once you summon me, I will be able to appear by your side, and if you need assistance, I can provide healing or healing potions, or I can take you back to town with me, take care of whatever it is that is your problem, and then bring you back later. For those of us in the real world, it's basically a life alert necklace.
Fantasy life alert.
I've fallen and I can't get up. Dragon.
I fully
I've
expect that to
fallen.
be called at least once.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Life alert.
Yes, so Please use them sparingly. Um, you do each only have one, so, don't call me just because you got a paper cut.
What if it's really bad?
Well, then I
We'll
will.
rub some dirt in it and it will be fine.
Don't rub the dirt in it. That will get it infected, and I will have to deal with it later.
Yeah, I
Yes.
use the good dirt.
Oh, goodness. You're all going to die.
Speaking of health potions, do you have any of those that we could just take with us so we don't have to call you all the time?
I don't personally, but if you head down to Herblight.
Herbalite, got it.
You're lucky you're across the country.
It's fine. But Herblight has several magical items, and I do believe he has recently stocked the healing potions, so please get some of those so that you can heal your own paper cuts without my assistance. But I know that some of you have, heart conditions and the gout and the diabetes and the things like that may require you to occasionally return for some more intensive care. And quite frankly, I'd hate to leave you in the middle of nowhere or on a mountain or underneath a dragon. Don't call me if you're fighting the dragon, please. I would rather not be stuck with the dragon.
You said that you would take care of any problem that we had. If a dragon is the problem, I feel like...
Well, by take care of...
False advertising.
I mean that I will grab you and take you away from there. I am not going to deal with the dragon for you. I do not deal with dragons. I am a cleric. I will heal your ass. I will not.
I know plenty of clerics that used to deal with dragons.
I worked with a cleric who fought a dragon with me.
That is a choice.
She was quite helpful, young Winley.
Well, I am not that kind of cleric. I do not care for combat. That's why I chose to come back and stay with my grandmother in a retirement community. I would rather deal with gout than gouts of flame. So.
But there is one outside. Isn't that something that should be taken care of?
Is that
by
not what
much
you are taking
younger
care of?
People than we are?
Well, it would appear that I am one of the youngest in town, and quite frankly,
Lord.
I am not prepared for this. But we could, if you'd prefer, we could just send for help. We do have the caravan that should be arriving tomorrow, and it'll probably be 3 or 4 days before they get to the next town. So, I don't know, a week or so. We could manage a week without dealing with the dragon, yes.
And how many villages how many villages are going to burn while we wait?
That is an excellent point.
All right. I guess we're gonna go fight a rock or a dragon or a fly on the wall.
There you go.
Are you sure it wasn't a speck on your telescope that you were just kind of waving around?
No, I cleaned it before. It's a slightly misaligned, so I can't get exactly what it is. That's all. Just, it's big. It's not a fly. It's not a speck of dust. It's not a bird. It's not a whirligig.
It's Superman.
Is it superhuman?
I mean, it could be. It could be superhuman. I mean, it could be some wizard messing around with everybody.
Wizards.
All right, let's go get our potions so that the nurse lady isn't coming to save us, apparently.
I will come save you if I need to. But you only have one use a day. So.
Per person.
This is a broken life alert. I have a feeling a real life alert isn't like this.
Looked it up. The batteries last 10 years.
Holy hell.
Wow. I mean, this stone is going to last until it gets shattered. It's just only good once a day. Magic isn't as reliable as batteries, I guess.
That worries me. I feel like magic should be more reliable than
Nope,
batteries.
absolutely not.
I mean, you've read Harry Potter. Like the biggest problem with the Harry Potter world is that Muggles would give up everything that they have, and one of the biggest problems is that Muggles would give up everything in the Muggle world to come out and be a wizard.
Anyway, let's go get our potions.
If magic was reliable, we wouldn't have heart problems and other things.
There are just some things that magic has its limits.
Do we all have heart problems?
I do not.
No comment.
I don't think I do. I don't remember. I know what one of mine is.
That's the hard problem you don't know you have.
Well, you know.
Anyway, yeah, I want to go get some potions.
All right. So you head down to the Herblight store.
Who owns this one?
This is owned by Ivadil
Also
Harper.
Dave. Let's say that again. I'm sorry.
Ivadil.
I feel like this retirement community is like living in Animal Crossing, where you pay everybody that you live there and then you buy the shit from them as well. It's like double dipping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There is also a bank where you can store your excess coinage.
My bells.
And get reverse mortgages.
Oh, yeah. No, they're not that bad. It's it was to make sure that you don't have to keep bags of coins under your bed. They do have a place where you can keep your money.
I feel better with bags of coins under my bed.
I don't have that. I
feel like most
there's
people
no
do.
account. Yeah, there's no account in that bank for me.
It's fine. You don't have to take advantage of it, but it's there. So you arrive at Herblight. And yeah, look.
Are you gonna try to sell us weight loss tea and meal replacement shakes?
Only if you ask for it, you know.
Oh, Rasmus buys all that crap.
Of course he does.
Of course he does.
Of course he does.
That tracks.
Yeah.
None of us are even remotely surprised.
Tastes like crap, but
it works like magic.
Makes me feel better.
Makes you feel better.
Oh, Erasmus would definitely be like the target of every MLM.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Look, you get to be your own boss, right?
There it is.
Oh.
Now, I respect everybody's, autonomy. You don't want to be your own boss, but I think that it's good in my old age to really just, take charge of, my financial situation.
Rez, this is Faye all over again. Just stop.
That almost worked out.
He made $2 from it. 2 gold from it. That almost worked out.
Yeah, I mean, I still got a whole bunch of that gel in my cottage.
Lord. As he is talking about all of this stuff, I will walk away.
So you walk into Herblight, and there's a little bell over the door that jingles pleasantly as you walk in. And there's not a lot for you to dig into yourselves. There are a few bins along one wall that have sort of standard spell components. So if anyone needs magical components, there's all sorts of weird bins of stuff. There's a bin of dirt. There's charcoal. There's a bag of feathers, so you can purchase a couple of feathers if you need them.
Who just buys bags of dirt?
Usually they come in jars.
Oh, like,
That's
you
fair,
see.
yes. But wouldn't you just like, I don't know, pick up dirt from the ground?
No, see,
Look,
this dirt is fine dirt for throwing in people's eyes. This is the good.
Oh,
This is the good dirt.
oh.
This is the
I
good
mean,
dirt.
I feel like
This
I
is
could.
what you put on your paper cuts.
Ah, yes, of course.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna need some of that. Might have to, might
I'm
have to
gonna
throw
go
some
to the
dirt.
counter because I'm assuming that there's no like health potions sitting out so that
there
people
are
can have.
not. You do have to go
Danny's
to the
like,
counter
I'm
for
gonna
that.
keep DB from stealing shit. I'm gonna put it behind a counter.
I mean, there's lots of shit you can steal, but
But
the bigger, fancier stuff is definitely behind the counter.
the stuff I need. Do I need a prescription for a health potion?
Well, we were
Um,
sent here by the cleric, so that is a referring doctor.
That's
That's fair.
true. The standard health potions do not require a prescription, um, but those of you who do have things like gout or heart trouble,
Oh,
you
yes.
have been prescribed specific potions that they will brew for you up here at Herbalife.
Yep, here to pick up prescription for Erasmus. Yep.
Yes, of
Yeah,
course, I
Fowler.
have that for you.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
This is why
Here
we're
you go,
here at the
Rasmus.
drive-through.
All right. Got any more of those? Got any more of those? What was it those mega shakes?
Oh yes, I got some more of those in just last week. How many would you like?
Just give me a case. It's gonna be
Certainly.
gonna go do a lot of things outside. But I'm gonna need it.
And Ivadil runs to the back, and they bring back out a case, a wooden crate of glass jars with screw tops. Sets it out. Here you go. You enjoy those.
How many is in a case?
A dozen.
Oh, okay.
Would you like some?
Yes, please.
Okay. And she gets you a case of the mega shakes.
No, I'm sorry. I don't want that.
Oh,
That's
you
what
know you
happens
want
when I'm
that.
trying to take notes about things. I don't want that. No, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. You know, my
Oh.
old age. The
Oh,
memory is going.
I understand.
I need health potions.
Oh, health potions. Just a generic health potion, or have you got a prescription for something in particular?
I don't have a. I need one in case a dragon or a rock
Oh,
hurts me
all right.
horrifically.
Well, I did actually get a stock of those just brewed up lately. And,
Okay. I will take all of them.
oh, all of them.
All of them.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Have you got the gold for that?
I do.
You know those things
Alright.
give you the rumble guts. You better be careful.
Rumble guts.
Well, I do have 6. Is that
Okay,
is sufficient?
sure.
All right.
If you had more, I would take more.
Oh, well, I don't have any now, but
Okay.
I can get some brewing, and
Okay.
it'll be a couple of days. Is that all right?
I mean, that is going to have to do, isn't it?
I suppose so. That's what I've got. That's what I've got.
That is true.
I suppose you could always check and see if any of the traders in town have brought any, but I don't know what we've
Well,
got these days.
it's okay. We will take your 6 health potions.
All right. Can I interest you in
Oh,
anything
it's we
else?
now.
or-
I mean, no, I will pay for it.
Is there anything else you need? Are any of you spellcasters? Do you need components for anything?
No.
I have a lovely potion of flying. Anyone need to fly?
With our elderly
Not again.
bones, you want us to fall out of the sky?
Well, no, you fly, and that's the point.
And it wears off and then you fall out of the sky.
Well, that's why you land before it wears off.
Yes,
This
falling
one is
out of the
actually-
sky is not fun.
This is a special formulation, my own. And you actually get this wave of heat that runs over your body just a few moments before it wears off, so that you've got some warning. It's one of those things that we
So
discovered in
sorry,
town
I just
here.
imagine like a wave of heat going through my body and then automatically needing to pee. Like,
It's the hot flashes.
I was going to say, do you think that any of us can tell the difference between that heat running through us and a hot
And the
tub?
hot flashes.
I, I didn't think of that. Perhaps I'll work on changing that formula. Thank you for the input. I appreciate that.
Glad to keep it from raining people out of the sky.
Yes, that would be unfortunate, wouldn't it? Right, right. Well,
I might cast a spell or four, maybe. Went to the academy, you see. This was like back in, I'd say, about 45 years ago. I just got done with my first adventure. And I made a little bit of money too. And I said, what the hell am I going to do? Gonna come home? I mean, a gold goes a long way, and I had so much of it. I didn't know what I was going to do with it all. And I decided to go to school. And they taught me, it was, God. Yeah, it was, the water here. Yeah, it was, the War Academy at Waterdeep. Mm.
I love Erasmus.
I love Erasmus.
I love
Yeah.
him, Your Honor.
Erasmus may never
Daddy,
die.
I love him.
And I just,
I'm gonna slip
yeah.
some gold to her
she
for the
very
potions.
gently takes it off the counter.
I take the potions,
Mhm.
I slip them into my bag,
Okay.
and I just slowly take Erasmus by the shoulders and start like pulling him back slowly
Mhm,
out
and
of
then,
the out of the store.
yeah, we used to play pranks on the Waterdeep Watch, which was the thing to do at the time. And anyway, Blackstaff kicked us out after a while. I think Owen was around back then too. Where is Owen? There's there.
I'm literally right here.
Right there. Yeah, Remember when we? Was that you?
No.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, anyway, I nicked this nifty badge off one of the Waterdeep guards. Had ever since. He actually pulls out like a Waterdeep watch badge.
A badge of the watch. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I need to collect some things from my house. So
As do
Uh,
I.
as
Oh,
I do
I'm
not
always ready.
I do not usually bring my adventuring gear along to a knitting circle. I did not expect something like this.
I'm gonna take off my hat of disguise, and I am in full adventuring gear.
What does your adventuring gear look like?
I have a very nice cloak on, some light armor, and you don't see any weapons.
Which makes
However.
assault more suspicious.
And some fancy boots.
The fanciest of boots.
Fanciest of boots.
All right. And you said the rest of you are heading to get your adventuring gear. Erasmus
Yeah.
has already obtained his hitting stick.
Yep. Everything is in the bag, and I got my hidden stick lucky.
All right.
Owen kind of lets everybody else make their way out of the shop first and then goes back to the counter and says, and one prescription for Owen Thorn, please. And thank you.
Of course. Here you go, sir. Owen,
Thank you.
enjoy. I hope you feel
Oh,
better.
yes, I
Enjoy.
enjoy the hot trouble.
Well, no. I hope that the medication helps you enjoy life.
Literally thought this was like Viagra when she said enjoy. I was like,
Not gonna lie, I kind of thought the same.
enjoy.
Oh, yeah. No. Just generic customer service face. It's fine.
And then he leaves to go get his stuff.
No shame. No shame.
No.
Chat has me rolling. Oh my god.
Oh goodness. Little blue bottle. Yep. So, what sort of adventuring gear are Owen and Isolt picking up?
Well, here's the thing, Danny. Here's the problem with that particular question. I have had a very busy life and
Yes.
haven't had a chance to pick my items yet. So I would like to defer that question until next session. When I can
Absolutely.
answer that much more explicitly and actually give you a good answer on that.
Certainly, that is fine. Owen, do you pick up anything interesting that the rest of the party might notice?
I've got chainmail. I've got a long sword that may or may not be silvered. You can't really tell because they're all shiny and silver colored.
Shiny.
The old bag of holding, and he puts on some goggles of night just in case because he's got night blindness now.
As it happens, you know. All right. So you all reconvene at the Golden Frog, and Enyatha is there. Well, I wish you all the best of luck.
Is it the golden frog or the white frog?
The Golden Frog.
Golden.
Shit. This is why we have erasable pens.
And, well, I wish you the best of luck. Try not to die. Call Chayla if you need her. And go get that flying thing.
Ooh-wee.
On the road again.
On the road again. So you begin your trek out of town. And I don't have a nice way of putting up a map yet. That's fine. That is something that I will get for next time. But if you follow the river to the northeast, you will be moving up towards the mountains. That is probably the most direct route towards where this smoke is coming from.
Well then, off in that direction.
All right. Let's go ahead and have everyone give me a survival roll just to see if you can manage to find anything resembling a path up this mountain.
Oh, okay. Unnatural 20.
Okay.
14.
24.
Hell yeah.
All right. So you are all definitely able to find a fairly reasonable path. It's not a path that is frequently walked. As far as you can tell, no one really actually goes up the mountain. You have no need to go any further up the mountain. Everything you need is right here in town. But someone must have gone at some point. Because there's a bit of a path, maybe some goats. You're not really sure, but there's something for you to follow. So you start making your way up the mountain.
Does it look like it's been traversed recently before we got here?
It does not look as if a human or elf or humanoid
Yeah.
creature
Okay.
has been going up and down the mountain.
Anything bigger?
Go ahead and roll a perception to see if you notice anything.
Perception is great.
I seem to have knit my headphones into my arm.
Oh no!
I have been worried about doing that with a headphone
We're good.
cord.
Yep.
29.
All right. You see evidence of some larger tracks. And with that roll, you are fairly certain that it is a large creature. And given your history as an adventurer, you've got a suspicion that it might be a troll.
Oh Lord. Everybody keep an eye out. It looks like we might have trolls.
Oh, I haven't tangled with a troll and ooh.
I'm
Mm.
I want to be stealthy up the mountain, Danny.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your stealth.
Okay, give me a second. I need to finish my note. Troll.
And then are the rest of you following or staying further back?
Well aware that I in clanky armor am going to be a detriment to the person who is actively trying to be sneaky. I'm going to stay a little ways back.
All right.
27.
And I'll join you because I also jingle.
Okay. Erasmus, are you being stealthy or hanging back?
I mean,
Or
I'd
going
love to
along
be
with?
stealthy. I'd love to be stealthy, but the doctor said my knees. So
All right. So three of you are staying a little further back, and Nelitha is moving forward very quietly,
Let the sneaky one go first.
very sneakily and unnoticed. Roll me a perception, please.
22.
You smell something before you see anything. You spot these tracks that you've been sort of half following, leading off of the trail and a little further away. You follow them, and the scent grows stronger. And you see two trolls. They are very clearly the source of the smell. They don't look like they're in the best condition.
Like they're hurt or just that they're dirty?
How close are you trying to get?
I'm going to hide in the nearest bush to them.
You aren't really able to tell what's going on with them other than they smell terrible. Like worse than you would expect a troll to smell.
Okay. Are they talking? Can I hear them say anything?
Roll me another perception.
Okay, I know how this sounds. It's a 28. I have a plus 11 to my perception.
Wow. Okay.
I don't want you guys to be like,
No. I have a character that has a 26 passive perception, so
yeah, that's my passive perception as well. So
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to go adventuring no more. I'm tired.
For those of you at home, our characters are all level 10. So
yeah.
they've been adventuring for a while. These are not level 1 adventurers.
we're not babbies.
Could you imagine being level 1 and able to roll a 28 on a fucking
I don't even know how you
I don't think you could. I don't think there are enough bonuses.
No.
No.
It might be possible if you do a variant human and go with a feat that boosts that, but
Even then,
Yeah.
even then,
what languages do you speak?
Common, Elvish, thieves can't, and undercommon.
You hear some sounds coming from them,
Okay.
but you don't understand what they're saying.
Damn. All right, I'm gonna start sneaking back to my party.
Okay.
So, there are two trolls off the path. They smell awful. Could not understand what they were saying. I do not speak troll. But how far off the path were they?
It probably took you going stealthily about 10 minutes to get to them.
We might be able to keep moving without dealing with them.
Did they look as though they had things taken from other people?
Did they look like they took shit from people, Danny?
Are they being waylayers on the road, such as it is?
You didn't see any signs of loot and stuff laying around.
Didn't look like any loot or anything. They could also just have their own retirement village up here. We should respect other people's homes, you know?
Are you sure you were an adventurer?
Well,
Well, you know, if if they're up to no good, we should just ask them what's up on the mountain.
do you speak troll?
I mean, I speak giant. It's close enough.
I don't think it is, honey.
Erasmus, go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
Sure. Rasmus is playing smart. He's not wise. He's gotten by on like dumb luck. That'll be a 14.
Okay. Well, with your book smarts, you do know that trolls do speak giant. That is their language.
Hey.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about it. Back in the academy, we had a class on trolls. They definitely speak giant.
Okay. Sure, Erasmus. You go talk to the trolls.
Sure. I just ask them what they're up to. What's up on the mountain?
Yeah, make sure that you speak giant to them.
Always had that conjugation problem, and it would be fine.
I'm gonna shoot Owen a look as the other heavily armored person and be like, "Are you going with him, or should I?"
He's my stupid friend. I'll go with him.
Rasmus will step out around to where the trolls are supposedly are.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh God. Hey,
Owen stays back.
and before he just does that, I will have snuck in behind.
Okay.
And been like in the bushes.
Okay.
Yeah, noting that I'm left alone on the path, I'm like, well, all right then, and stick near Owen, because far back, my sword isn't drawn, shield's still on my back.
All right.
Trying to help present a image of we're not here to fight yet.
Okay. As Erasmus, how close are you getting before you start talking to them?
I mean, I'm not going to be in arm's reach of a troll. I start off like, at least 20 feet, and I just, hey.
So you're a little bit closer than Nilitha was, and you are not hidden in bushes. So you have a much more clear view of these trolls as they turn to you. And you're not necessarily someone who speaks giant in everyday life, but you have studied it. They are very mumbly, like their mouths aren't working properly. But it sounds like they're saying hungry as they look at you.
I look at them and, given my previous necromancer experience, I'd like to make an Arcana roll. Maybe these are
Please do.
undead, and probably will explain why they stink more.
Don't
Go
forget you
ahead
got
and
them
roll.
shakes you can give them.
Yeah, no, these are my shakes. They can have my shakes. Help that. Oh yeah, that would be a 24 on Arcana.
Yeah, they are definitely undead.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they're double dead. Double dead.
Oh boy.
I know one draws his sword.
As does Assault.
Oh, come on, Lucky. Necromancer's afoot.
And I believe that's actually where we're going to leave it tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because we can't start combat with 15 minutes left in the stream.
Oh,
No.
that's fair.
That's just not going to work.
And also, before we go into combat, I'd like to know what I'm taking into combat with me.
That would also be helpful.
And now that you know
God.
that there's undead trolls, you
No,
can
no,
plan accordingly.
I have a list of things that I had already
I know.
set up. I just need to
I'm being an ass.
be your cute ass.
Debatable.
Yeah.
Danny, would you like me to go through our whole spiel, or do you want to do it?
You know what? I will let you do it because
Cool,
you're so good at it.
cool.
Cuckoo.
I do it on other shows, so
Do it.
thank you everybody for joining us tonight. If you like what we're doing, please consider becoming a patron. And you can help us make other great shows like this one. Of course, I get like the air bubbles when I'm trying to
Of course.
exit
Get
the
all
show.
choked up. Get all choked up because we're
And all
ending.
choked up. Yep.
Oh.
Please follow us on all social medias. That is the Majestic Goose on Twitter and Instagram.
Goose Majestic
And-
on one of them.
Okay, I didn't know that. Don't know which one. Probably Twitter.
Yes.
You can also follow this show specifically over on Instagram and Twitter at
Crits and Knits.
Crits and Knits. I wanted to
On
make
both of them.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, because that's pretty crafty. Didn't get that.
It did not.
Well, oh God. Apparently, I don't know how to end this.
That's
I will.
fine. Would you like me to go ahead and continue
Yeah,
on?
finish it up, Danny.
So
Bring
thank
it
you
home.
to everyone who followed us tonight. We got a couple more followers,
Yes.
which is great. We've got our year-end goal of 500 followers. We're getting very close. According to the tracker that I can't quite see because I don't have my glasses on, I believe it is we're 486 out of 500.
Yes, but I think
So-
Adam said that we were actually only 5 away in the chat earlier.
Even better. Okay, the tracker is off, so we are even closer. So thank you to all the new followers tonight. I saw that pop up several times, which is wonderful. We're very excited
Yes.
about that.
494.
494.
Yeah.
6 more followers
yeah.
to 500, which is amazing. If you are a knitter, please make sure you check out Kino Knits. She is our featured designer for this arc. And for the duration of the arc, you can use the coupon code Crits and Knits for 25% off of any Kino Knits patterns in her Ravelry shop or on her website, kinoknits.com. Again, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Crits and Knits. And we will be back here every other week streaming. And on the alternate weeks, you can check us out on your favorite podcatcher. We will have just the D&D portion of each stream translated into a podcast so you can catch up if you missed the stream. Let's go ahead and I'll let everyone talk about what they're doing. We're going to go in the same order as we started. So Erasmus is what you are on my screen.
All right, cool. Yeah. Hey, everybody, I'm Ernest, also known as Hollow Infective. Tonight I played Erasmus. You can find me in other places on the Majestic Goose Network. I play Corsair Jones on Doom Clock, which is a Shiver podcast, and you can catch that on Spotify, or you can catch that here on the Majestic Goose Network. I also am here. And you can catch it every other week. And if you have something that you want to see me in, just give me a holler over on Twitter at Hollow Invective.
Okay. And DB.
Hello. Yes, I am DB. You can find me here on That's Pretty Crafty, where I am half of the crafting team. That is Danny and I. And then you can also find me here on Roll for Weird, where I take you through slightly spooky adventures with my team of monster hunters. And you can then also find me over on the Nerd Asylum, where I actually do most of my shows. There is Altered Carbon, NA by Night, which is a Vampire the Masquerade game. There's about to be even more shows. And then also my other podcast, 20-Sided Adventures. And I think that is it for me.
People give me shit for how much stuff I'm
know,
in.
right? E, tell us about you.
I'm not in anything else. This is my only thing.
But you're here and we're excited
Yet.
about it.
We are very
Yet.
glad to have you.
You can find my opinions on Twitter at Haulaway with an underscore, HAUL_AWAY. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, we're excited. And
Super excited.
Tiana.
Hi, I'm Tiana Hansen. Here on Majestic Goose Network, I also play in Roll for Weird, where I play Misty Charlotte Palladino, who is the spell slinger with a propensity for fire. People who follow my spellcasters will know that I tend to play firecasters. It's a thing. Whatever, I'm not a pyro, you're a pyro. I am most commonly found over on the Quests and Chaos Network, which is twitch.tv/quests and chaos, where I run a D&D game on Monday nights. I play in a D&D game on Tuesday nights. And then starting at the end of this month, we are back with Call of Cthulhu on Saturday nights.
Yay.
Which
Sorry, is that going to be like a new adventure, or is
Yes.
it a cool? Because I would like to start watching that.
Would you like to know what we're playing through? Because we're actually doing a module.
Please, yes.
We're going to be playing through Children of Fear.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Like Children
Yeah.
of the Corn.
It's going to be a very investigative, heavy story along the Silk Road
I'm excited.
in the 1920s.
Oh,
Ezra has been doing a lot of reading, and I'm going to be playing a professor of some variety, because I've played the stabby one on the first Call of Cthulhu and the shooty one on the second Call of Cthulhu. So now I want to be the book one.
All right. Sounds good.
And then, of course, the thing that is my baby and I talk about all the time when I possibly can, I am the editor, producer, and a player on The Redacted Reports, which is a Delta Green actual play edited podcast. The new episode dropped today, which I'm very excited about. There's a whole lot of stuff going on for poor Arcel, and my character is getting taken right through the ringer.
Oof.
I'm hoping she gets a break at some point.
I hope
It's either she gets a break or she dies. It's going to be one of the two.
I vote for break, please.
Same.
Yes.
Same. I'm fairly partial to Rowan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm busy. Not as busy as Dragonbait.
It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Love
It's fine.
you. We love you so much. We want you to be in all the things.
Exactly. We just like your face.
Uh-huh. I've grown accustomed to her face.
And I am Danny. You can find me hanging out here on the Majestic Goose Network. I play Laseth on Roll for Weird. I play Gwyn on Doom Clock. I play Whiskey on the Eclipse podcast. And alternate Tuesdays, you can find me and Dee Dee hanging out making crafts on That's Pretty Crafty. So that is it for our first session. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I hope you follow us if you can. And look, we have more knitting. I'm super excited about
Looks so
that.
good. I
It's
have
getting
2
there.
pages of notes.
Yeah, awesome.
This is much thinner yarn than I'm used to working with, so it's not as long as I was half expecting, but I like it.
Most of a
Good.
cuff.
Hey,
Excellent.
look at you.
Only had to rip it out like 4 times.
I did a lot of ripping
Yes.
during game. Yeah. I'm currently buying more scarring liquid because I almost ran out doing stuff tonight.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to our next session. So we will see you back here in 2 weeks at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all so much for coming. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.